Welcome back, guys, to the Bolster podcast. I'm here with Caylor from Mangino Home Improvements. We're really excited to talk to him. He's been a long-standing customer, and yeah, he's going to tell us about his journey using Bolster as well. And so, yeah, welcome, Caylor. Why don't you give us a bit of an intro to your business, and how long you've been, using Bolster slash cost certified?
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, super glad to be here. Super excited. Been with Bolster a very long time. I started out as cost certified, and it's obviously switched over to Bolster. Loved when it was cost certified. I love it even more now that it's Bolster. The team over there, you guys have done a phenomenal job with the software, with the program. Stuck with you guys throughout the change. Ryan has been phenomenal as just, our ambassador for us through the program, always there to lend a hand when I need help with something. Super easy to work with and works through all my problems with me. But, we've been in business for probably going on about 13, 14 years now. Just a small business here in Buffalo, New York, specifically Orchard Park. And, we have a good clientele that we work with. And honestly, the Bolster platform has been really a huge selling point for our business. We've had a lot of customers that give us a lot of good feedback on the software. Certainly makes it easy on my end to continue to use the platform. Um, just been super helpful, and now it's kind of like an extension of my arm. I mean, I just naturally just use it, go to it, provide all the information to my customers. And it's just been a great platform for me to use, but also for my customers to use.
Yeah, awesome, man. No, glowing words already. Love it. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, so what's your role within the business? You obviously mentioned, you've been in business for well over a decade, doing this kind of stuff as well. And then primarily, like, what kind of work are you doing, using the software as well?
Yeah, so it's a small family-owned business. My dad started it 15 years ago. My brother and I we've been working with my father for solidly, I would say, the past 8 years. I've been doing it all my life. I mean, I was pretty much born and bred into it. I was doing handyman stuff with my dad at a young age. But so my brother and I took over the business last year. So my brother and I are owner operators. We self-perform 99% of all the work. We have a hard time saying no, so we always try to find a way to get the project done. Um, but I also manage the estimates and the day-to-day stuff like that. So obviously I'm using the bolster, but I'm also out in the field seeing it firsthand with, experience through the customers and stuff. My brother has slowly started kind of figuring out the platform, and he picked it up about 2.5 weeks ago, and he's been playing around with it. And honestly, like today, he can do an estimate by himself. I have a lot of the backdoor stuff set up for him, the assemblies, the items, and now he's just going in there, pulling in that assembly, and it's pretty much built for him, ready to go, and he's sending out the estimates. So, as far as what we do, I mean, again, we don't say no, so we do it all, but primarily we're home improvement, so basements, bathrooms, kitchens. We also do some handyman stuff, so changing out a light fixture or bathroom exhaust fan or stuff like that. We do that. So I mean, we go, as small as 150, $200 invoice, all the way up to the big projects that are 80, 90, $100,000 jobs. So there's certainly a wide range of things that we do within our wheelhouse.
Yeah, wow, amazing, man. No, love to hear it. Your account must be really complicated and built out. I can't wait to have a look at all those assemblies that you
Yeah,
probably
yep.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they get pretty extensive. And again, I mean, we try to pride ourselves on being that custom person, right? So there's home builders in our area that, hey, this is the house, this is what you get, right? And if you don't like it, then it is what it is. This is what we have to offer. We don't like that. We like to be custom, right? Because it's not my house, it's my customer's house. So I want it to be what they want. I want it to be their house. They're the ones living in it. So the biggest thing that I love about Bolster is I can put that stuff in there, but giving my customer the option to upgrade to something else, right? They're not stuck with this specific fixture or this specific cabinet, right? They can see all different types and they can see the price for them. right? So if they say, hey, I want to spend a little bit more extra money on a nicer cabinet, it's already in there for them, right? So it eliminates the back and forth on my end, and they already know what the price is going to be for their specific project.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's one of the great features, right? And would you say that, you've successfully used that to, I'm sorry, have you successfully used that to upsell jobs? And do you think you've increased your job size just from that one upgrade feature itself?
I certainly have. Yeah, it's and it's funny because like our generation is very technological advanced, right? Whereas like the older generation, they have a little hard time with the platform, but that's where the in-person review I do with them, or most of the time they do call me and we just walk through it on the computer and I just kind of, tell them like, hey, you can upgrade here. And my biggest prime example is like a heated floor. A lot of people want heated floors. They don't know exactly what it's going to cost, but it's in my software. And I always put in, I always try to keep the cost low initially. And then if someone wants to spend the money, they can see what that is to upgrade to the heated floor. We've gotten a lot of people that if you tell them the price of the heated floor, they're going to say, oh, that's too expensive. But if they get a chance to select it, they see the price and they go, well, I want it. So I'm just going to select it. Right. So that feature has just been phenomenal for us. And I love having that available to my customers so that they can see the price and have that selection available to them. And on the flip side, customers go, it's a little bit expensive. I don't know if I want that. Let's just stick with the tile or let's do an LVP option or something like that. So again, it's been a huge bonus for us to have that.
Yeah, awesome. No, it's definitely eliminates, a bit of that awkward back and forth. If you're like, hey,
Yep,
so do you want this? And if it's already there and it's there to just be a selection, it's almost like a really non-confrontational way, right, of including it in
correct.
there, which is really cool. So yeah, I love that, you're sort of using that to upsell the heated floor. And yeah, no, that's really cool, man. Yeah, good to hear that it's increasing revenue, and that's what we want at Bolsters is for other contractors to upsell jobs and be able to easily have that there available for them. So I'm guessing also you said that you sort of started in the business, your dad was running it. I'm guessing there wasn't really a time before Bolster, was there?
So there was, again, when I started to get in the fold and get in the picture of the company and figure out where we wanted to go with things. We started out on a PDF document and it said, here's our quote. And it was one page, maybe 2 pages at most. And obviously, all those years ago when it was my dad, he was mainly doing handyman stuff. And it wasn't until my brother and I got into the picture where we started to kind of grow the business to do bigger things like additions and full basements and stuff like that. So it all kind of came into scale that my dad was doing handyman stuff. So, hey, just change out a light fixture or something like that. That's easy to put on one piece of paper, right? And here's your price. But as we got more advanced and started doing bigger projects, to me, it doesn't look very professional to do $100,000 project and it's a 2 page PDF and it says build addition, right? I'm like, that just doesn't look professional to me. So we started exploring more of an estimating software side of it. And obviously back then it was the cost certified, but still Bolster. And once I kind of dove into it, went through the training process, super easy, super quick to pick everything up. And honestly, I mean, I haven't looked back because I've had customers that come back to me and we get the job and they say, we went with you because your estimate was so professional, so precise. I have everything listed in there. And for them, it was the ease of using it. And it kind of sets us apart now because I may be more expensive than a different guy, but the customer feels comfortable going with us because we have a professional estimate or a professional quote that we provided them. Whereas the other guy might have just been that 1, 2, 3 page document and they don't know exactly what they're getting. So it kind of having the bolster cuts out that gray area of, well, what are you providing me, right? What type of flooring are you providing? Bolster allows me to do that, and my customer can just see the type of floor. They can pick their flooring, they can pick their color, right? So The other guy that only has 3 pages, it may be, well, what's my floor? Oh, it's a tile floor. Okay, well, what kind? Well, what you picked out. Well, I don't remember what I picked out. Right? That was like 4 months ago. So I've had customers that have given me that feedback. And it just solidifies my assurance of what Bolster is providing me as a contractor and then me to my customers.
Yeah, 100%. I love that example that you just gave. And we really struggle sometimes as Bolster to try and convince, some of the smaller contractors, handyman, that like client trust, client experience is so important, right? Being that detail. How would you sort of explain to, I don't know, someone who's going from handyman to then, almost doing remodels like you are? How would you explain to them like why is that transparency so important on the quote, and why is building trust so important as well?
I mean, trust is everything, right? I mean, there's to be a contractor in our world, if you have a truck and you have a bag of tools, you can be a contractor, right? Um, but to be a business and a responsible contractor, you obviously need more than that. You need insurances, you need all types of information that gives that customer that trust that, hey, if something goes wrong, I'm protected and you're protected to go with me. And by using the Bolster platform and having all your stuff laid out in there, again, it assures to the customer what they're getting and they can trust me that I'm going to provide it to them. Whereas if you just say, hey, I'm going to build you an addition for $100,000, to me, if I was a homeowner, I'd be like, okay, well, I don't know what's included in that, right? Like, what's the size of it? How many windows? What type of windows? Like, I just wouldn't trust that as a contract or as a customer to be like, I don't know what you're giving me, so I don't feel confident in going with you. Um, and again, my proposals before were a page, 2 pages. Now with the Bolster, I mean, a simple bathroom turns into 6, 7 pages from Bolster, and it's really the same information, the same materials. It's just laid out in a better fashion on Bolster that it shows mortar, grout, tile, drywall, right? And I put screws in there. I put all that stuff in there. So customers literally say, "Wow, you are very detailed." And I go, "This is what I'm providing you. It's a professional estimate, professional quote so that there's no gray area. And at the end of the day, you know what you're getting. I'm providing you and I know what I'm providing you." And it kind of, I guess, adds that trust level because they can see it in black and white on a piece of paper, like, hey, this is what you're getting.
Yeah, 100%. No, I love that you go down to the, that level of detail with the screws. One of our guys, George, he's sort of, you probably dealt with George. He loves doing that stuff, going all the way down and making a formula to go all the way down
Yep.
to how many
Oh
screws you
yeah.
need for a job. And yeah,
Yep.
I love that, man. Like that's so cool. You can get that detailed and that accurate. And so yeah, you did mention a little bit about that. So with the assemblies that you have, is that something that you've sort of done yourself? And then obviously throughout the years that you've used the software as well. Yeah, is that something that, our team has helped you with, or did you sort of spend the time doing that yourself?
Combination of both. I would say when I first started, it was a little bit of your team helping me out, kind of getting my feet wet, getting the groundwork set for me. I mean, I'm a young guy, right? So I'm very good with technology. I use Excel all the time. I honestly haven't used it in a while because Bolster is basically Excel. So, what do I need it for, right? But I knew all the formulas. I knew how to do formulas in Excel. So to transfer that into Bolster, it's literally the exact same thing. And it has been huge for me. So once I got that initial assembly kind of helped with, I kind of just opened up the doors from there and made it my own. So I would say from start till now, I would say 90% of it is all me building my own assemblies. And now I mean, I've been in the software for so long that I have a lot of those assemblies pretty much already built for me. So now my time is almost next to nothing to do these estimates because I'm just pulling it in, putting a couple measurements, and then I'm done because I did all the linking. I went through and did all my square footages. Now it's, pretty much put in my dimensions and it spits out a price for me.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's what we want to achieve with all of our guys. And then you mentioned earlier that your brother's also kind of, now getting his hands on, and you've created those templates for him. And a lot of our guys actually, they'll have sales guys in different areas, and so they'll set up something, internally as a template and Bolster, and then just give that to their sales guy, right? He could even be in a different state or a different, city altogether, right? Can you explain to me like a bit about your process, with your brother? And what that sort of looks like. So he doesn't need to touch anything on the assembly side, but he's got access to everything, right?
Yep. Yeah. So again, I've been in the software for, I want to think about 5 years now, ever since we got on with Cost Certified. And I've been slowly building up my own catalog of items and assemblies and stuff like that. And I have grouped everything into my own assemblies. I use them. Now that my brother's willing to jump onto the software, because I finally pushed him into it, um, again, in 2 weeks of him starting from not, I mean, knowing what Bolster is, because I use it every day, but he never even logged into it. So he just sees what I do. And ever since he jumped on board 2 weeks ago, I can literally say, hey, do a bathroom. And he just goes in, clicks the bathroom assembly, and puts in the dimensions, and it spits out a price. So he's pretty much handling, I would say, the day-to-day stuff, because we are, I don't want to say custom, but we're in that custom path, that we try to tailor our proposals to our specific customer. So what he'll do is he'll build the assembly, put all the dimensions in there, and then I will then go back in on my end and just kind of glance over it, make sure he didn't miss anything, make sure everything's working the way it's supposed to. And then if there are those onesie twosie things that I need to add in there, I'll just do that. I know that within a month or so, he's going to be at that point where he can just go in and add an item. I mean, it's relatively easy to do. He's still kind of nervous. He doesn't want to mess anything up, but I'm like, you really can't. Um, so yeah, so I would say, handles more of the day-to-day stuff. I'm handling the bigger assembly items that if there's something missing or it's not working the way we want, I'm basically going in on the back end and fixing it, making it work, and then throwing that in there for him.
Love that, man. Yeah. And that's really cool. It's cool to see how, different people use it and how it's kind of that within the business, who's got the reins and
Yeah.
who's the big dog. Obviously it's you. And then, who's sort of on the other side as well, on the sales side. But yeah, really cool. And then touching on that as well, like how do you think Bolster is doing at, sort of that like CRM lead management thing? Do you use Bolster for that? Do you use the pipeline feature at all to sort of manage all your projects?
So use the pipeline a lot. And I had brief conversations about all this with Ryan yesterday. Is ever since like Bolster, I guess, took over, it has been phenomenal. I mean, you guys have implemented so much stuff. I mean, not it's been a couple years since, using Cost Certified. Obviously, when that platform first came out, absolutely loved it. But since the transition to Bolster, I mean, the platform has been phenomenal. The pipeline is great. I've been every time you guys come out with a new feature, I'm trying to like figure out how I can integrate it, into my day-to-day life. And you guys have the lead form that you can now use wherever on a QR code or however you want to use it. I've since added that to my website so people can look up my website, click on that lead form, fill it out. I've had people do that. I get the email notification, Bolster lets me know. And then, of course, it automatically gets put right into my pipeline for me as a lead. And then I can reach out to that customer. So the pipeline for me, literally every morning when I sit down at my computer, I log into Bolster, and that's the first between checking my mail, my email, and Bolster pipeline. I'm always on it. So it's just been a phenomenal go-to spot for me, um, just to streamline things and also keep my business somewhat organized, right? Because we used to do it where it was we'd have a calendar or whatever like that, and okay, this job's going on, this job's coming up, and it kind of got messy. And I tried to use like Google Calendar and stuff like that, and just really didn't work for us. But the pipeline, once that was a thing with Bolster, it just helped me keep track of all my jobs, what I'm estimating, where my estimates are at, and then obviously book projects in progress. So yeah, use it every day, and it is literally my go-to board.
Wow. Yeah, amazing, man. Yeah, that's the key, right? Is, using all the stuff together and having everything in one place is so handy, and makes everything, super easy. It doesn't need to transfer out of there or anything. You don't need to check anything else.
Yep.
That's amazing, dude. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some more project management stuff. So do you, you know, in your process now with the job, with material lists, budget, and also scheduling, is that something that you handle with Bolster too?
So the scheduling is something new for us that we are, I'll be honest, we haven't dove into fully yet. I've been exploring the options. So as over the past year and a half, as we've gotten bigger, we've started to incorporate subcontractors underneath us. So I'm trying to work on that scheduling aspect of it to integrate that into Bolster. So as of right now, I would say we're not using the scheduling, but we're also not on like long drawn out projects,
Mm.
just because we are so specific. So a simple bathroom, for example, could be a 3 week project, and it happens so fast that by the time I try to get the schedule to catch up to it, we're already done and getting paid,
Yeah,
So,
right.
so yeah, so trying to understand that aspect of it, but haven't fully gotten there just yet.
Yeah, 100%. No, totally fine. I mean, something that's really cool that's just, making its way out now and it's in beta is the work orders feature. So we actually had a guy, a couple of weeks ago to t tell us that he uses that for his subs and he's able to just quickly get the work order out to them with that scheduling feature. So yeah, I really encourage you when you have time with Ryan
Yep.
to go through that. But yeah, no, amazing. And then otherwise as well, do you guys use Bolster for payments as well?
So we do. I do all my invoicing through Bolster, send them out. I will say that I've had a couple customers that utilize payment through Bolster. I think one customer was an ACH, the other one was a credit card. Absolutely love it. I love the feature. I love seeing the money. I love seeing, you got paid, and I love that feature. And I didn't really have to do anything, right? I don't have to go collect it. I don't have to go to the bank. I don't have to do anything. Um, I'm trying. I would love for more customers to do it. Wish they would. I think we're slowly getting into that realm of people being okay doing that now. And I talked with Ryan about it yesterday. I mean, we're doing 80, 90, $100,000 jobs, right? So my invoices, I work up a draw schedule, and it may be a five, $6,000 invoice where people might say, I don't want to pay the ACH fee, or I don't want to pay the credit card fee, right? So it's still for us kind of young in getting to that aspect. But of course, plastic's the way of the world, right? So everybody's trying to use credit cards. But obviously, I understand, the 2% fee on a $5,000 invoice, it adds up, right? So people kind of look at that like, I don't know if I want to pay that yet. Um, but I have had customers utilize it, would love to have them utilize it more, but it is an option for me when I send my invoice out to them that, hey, if you want to pay with a credit card or an ACH, it's all there for you.
Yeah, no, awesome. Love that you're utilizing that feature. And we've had a lot of good feedback on that. Yeah, and we're trying to get, more contractors to start using it as well. And yeah, no, there might be some, some announcements soon about some fee waivers, but I'll leave it there for now on that. But yeah,
Yeah.
amazing that you're using it, man. That's really cool. Another thing I wanted to say is, let's switch to more general questions. Do you think you could have achieved scaling your business to this size without Bolster? Do you think there's a world where would have done it a different way?
No. Simple answer, no. Um, Again, I look back to what we used to do, which was the PDF documents. Um, and again, it's just not professional, in my opinion, to do something like that. There is a time and place for it, so I don't want to knock any other contractor that uses that feature, because there is a time and place for it. But if you truly want to win bids you want to get these jobs and you want to look professional before you even walk in the door, Bolster is the way to do it, to be honest. I mean, I've explored before Bolster, before Cost Certified, and we landed on Cost Certified at the time, but we've explored other estimating softwares. I've tried them out. I've done the free trials. Just not even close to what Cost Certified and Bolster has to offer. And this is 5 years ago, right? Where I'm at now with Bolster, I mean, I'm not on the computer Googling around other estimating softwares. Like, I'm not looking to change it, right? If it's not broke, don't fix it. And there is absolutely nothing broken about Bolster. And I tell other contractors, I go, I don't know what you're using for an estimating software. I said, but I use Bolster, absolutely love it. I mean, I truly recommend it to everybody. And again, I can't even tell you another estimating software because I haven't looked at them in 5+ years. Just because the software that Bolster has to offer is just by far the best.
Wow, yeah, amazing. No, thank you for that. That's gives us a lot of confidence as well, going into these conversations and hearing that from you as well. But yeah, really, really cool to hear that. Yeah, we want to be the best, and we will love hearing from customers and getting that feedback as well. And I wish more contractors would, know that, would get
Yeah.
that message like, yeah, you don't need to use anything else, and this is the way to go. And then, I guess again on a more general personal note as well, how has this sort of freed up, more personal time for yourself? And how's this given back, you more time? Or how's, scaling the business using Bolster like allowed you to have more freedom in your life? Has that been possible?
So it certainly has. I would say, I mean, years and years ago, we used to work weekends. We would do some Saturdays. Obviously, Sundays, we would always try and take off. Um, we have since gotten rid of that. We're only Monday through Friday. I mean, got to have some time for the family, right? And that's what I always love. My brother loves, my dad loves. Like, we need time off. We need time to relax and just recharge the batteries. Because my brother and I are owners and operators, right? We're out in the field Monday through Friday. So for me, it's anytime I'm in the office, I'm losing money, right? So it's always precious time for me. And there's going to be days that we're not working. We don't have jobs, or it's raining, or something's going on, or we're waiting for materials to come in for a project. So there's going to be days that I have office time that it's just the nature of the beast. You need office time, right? So for us, it's a double-edged sword. If I'm not in the field, I'm not making money. But if I'm not in the office, I'm not pumping out the estimates to then make the money, right? So what Bolster has done is taken my estimating time and my office time and cut it down to almost nothing, because when I do get 4 hours in an afternoon, I can come in and pump out 4 or 5 estimates because it's so easy and so quick to do it through Bolster, that now instead of staying till 6, 7 o'clock at night, spending 5, 6, 7, 8 hours on one estimate, I can do that in 4 hours and I can get multiple of them done. Now I can go home at 4 o'clock and I'm done for the day. Or if it's in the morning, I can pump out one estimate in a half hour or less than and go on with my day and go out and make money at a job.
Yeah, that's amazing. And we love that. And it's a great testimonial, man. Like giving that time back to you, so important because, like people don't understand what it's like to run your own business and being, especially in your position, being an owner operator. It's on the go all the time, and you could, be
Yep.
taking phone calls whenever, 8 p.m., 6 a.m., yeah,
Oh
5 a.m.
yeah.
Homeowners are like that too, and
Yep.
it's tough to adjust someone else's timeline. So yeah, really cool to hear that. And yeah, it's something that we want to show other contractors too. You can actually get this time back, and it's you
Yep.
know, and so a little bit on that as well is, do you think Bolster's worth the investment, and how would you justify that to a contractor?
It's 100% worth the investment. Again, you because the proposal from start to finish is so professional, in my opinion, and a lot of it is how you build it, right? So the Bolster platform just gives you the keys, and it's my job as the contractor estimator to turn that into a nice looking proposal. But again, you have the basis that Bolster provides you, and the biggest thing is pictures, adding verbiage. I mean, you can like an electrical outlet, for example, doesn't look that pretty, but to a customer, to have a picture there and say, hey, it's a 15 amp outlet, they may not care about it, but it looks professional, it looks clean, and it, in my opinion, it just adds that next level that you have compared to someone else who just has outlet. Simple one little word line item. And that honestly could separate you from the other guy that now you get the job. And again, I've had customers that come to me and say, yes, you're a little bit more expensive, but we went with you because of your estimating software. So it is certainly an investment, but what you're getting is you're getting time that you're not sitting down typing it out on a PDF every single time. And you're getting jobs that maybe you're actually getting a little bit more money for. So if you look at it, if you're getting more money for that same job that you got on a piece of paper, you're basically paying for the investment that you already had, but you're also saving that in time. So now you can do more estimates, do more jobs that before you weren't getting. So in theory, you're almost a wash. If you're getting enough projects out of it, you're actually making more money. And that's 100% what we've gotten from Bolster from start to finish is we're getting more jobs, bigger jobs, and more money because of Bolster.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, no, I love to hear that. And yeah, like we just know that this could really change someone's, business, change their whole life as well. And it's cool to like actually hear that from a real person, man. So thank you. And then, switching tacks a little bit on the customer support side and on the customer service side, how has that been? And obviously Ryan's still on the call, so maybe don't bash him too much. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, how's it been and how has your experience with look at him there he is. How is it, what's the team response been like from them and how quickly are they able to turn around some of the issues or any questions that you had?
I couldn't bash Ryan even if he wasn't on this call. He has been nothing but phenomenal for me. Anytime I have a question, anytime there's an issue, I send him an email. I mean, within minutes, he's responding, hey, I'm on a call, but I'll take a look at it. Right. So it's not 20 minutes or an hour of nothing. And then it's like I'm sitting there like, did he even get my email? No. Ryan is immediate responsive to me. Again, if he's in a meeting, on a call, busy with something, he always emails right back, hey, I'll hit you back. I'll take a look at it. I'll do whatever. And then he'll set up a Zoom call with me and he'll show me what my question was, or he'll, take over my screen for me and work me through my problem. And for me, that's a huge asset because if I'm in the middle of an estimate, I don't want that downtime that I'm waiting on something because there's a problem or there's, an issue that I have with something. And Ryan's responsiveness is just beyond phenomenal. And he takes care of what I need to, and it keeps me moving and keeps me making money, which is the biggest thing. So he is phenomenal for us.
Awesome. No, good to hear.
We'll
Ryan's happy
forward
to.
that over to payroll right away,
Yeah,
and we'll see where it
exactly.
goes. I'm just
I
saying.
know. Oh, I'm
There
for
you
that as
go.
Okay.
well. We'll clip
But
that up and
yeah, to management,
send that.
real
Yeah, there
quick.
you go.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Send to your
Yeah.
boss over there. No, thank you. Thanks for that. No, awesome. Yeah, we really want to give that sort of like white glove one-to-one experience with all of our customers. And we really believe, similar to what you talked about with client trust, is that we need to build trust with you guys. And the easiest way to do that is to really get in the weeds with our customers and help build out stuff and teach them things they need to be taught. Again, the quick response turnaround
Certainly.
is so important to us. And you'd feel that too, right? If you can get
Absolutely.
faster,
Yeah.
yeah, you can get a faster estimate out to one of your customers, you're probably more likely to win that job. And we believe that too. We believe we can win, back business or more business with our current customers with great customer service. So yeah, no, thanks for that. And thanks,
Yeah,
Ryan,
certainly.
again for just being, the GOAT, the best. No. There he is.
Yeah, there he
Um,
is.
yeah, a few last questions. I feel guilty because you said, you usually spend, less time in the office, but we're probably taking you away from some jobs now. But yeah, no, a few last things, from my side. Yeah, one thing that we kind of do on these interviews as well is, if I was a contractor starting out, how would you convince me to get started on Bolster?
Honestly, the I guess I would lead the conversation is, do you want to make a lot of money? Right? Because if you want to make the money, you got to make the investment, right? And in my opinion, a good professional contractor is clean, has the vehicles that are clean, right? They're not breaking down. You got clean tools and you got clean feet, right? Because you're in people's houses. You're basically living with these people for however long it takes you to do the project. So being clean from the start, and how you start that is with Bolster, because Bolster's clean, right? It's professional, and it helps you get that money. So if you want to make more money, I would say make the investment in Bolster, and you're never going to look back. And it's honestly going to grow your business a lot. It's going to help you. So it's just a huge asset for them.
Huge, man. No, amazing. No, thank you for that. And then yeah, just from your business standpoint, what's next for Mangino, and what's on the horizon for your business? Are you looking to expand as, the jobs come in there, and expand, even maybe the type of jobs as well. And yeah, what's next for sort of the next, I don't know, 5, 10 years? So what's the dream,
Well, I mean, the dream has always been to build custom homes. And I, we're like right there, but we just can't like bridge, that gap up in there. But to be honest, I mean, there's no complaints on not getting there just yet. We're ready for it. I mean, we do every aspect of a house, right? We've done basements, bathrooms, kitchens, you name it, we've done it. We just haven't put them all together into one, right? So, waiting for that kind of bridge to get us to that point. But without Bolster, I don't even think that would be possible. I've actually quoted out 3 full houses, new builds, start to finish. Didn't get them because, of course, we were too expensive. Um, and I say that by the other guy starts with the low bid, right? So one house that I had, for example, was, I believe it was about 7.25 was my cost. Um, the other house was, or the other contractor was like low sixes. When the house was finally done and built, that other contractor with change orders was about the same cost as mine, if not a little bit more expensive. And I've had customers that literally tell me that they say we should have went with you guys from the get-go because Bolster provided everything that they were getting. They knew what they were getting, and they were able to, if they wanted to, hey, I don't like, I want an extra light or I want this. I could change that in Bolster before I even start the project, and then start the project. Hey, you know what you're getting. Everything's here. So I'm almost to that point of being able to build houses, like actually physically doing it. But again, I've done it in Bolster multiple times. Um, I know I'm there and I know my costs are solid. It's just getting customers to see that bottom line right off the bat, right? Because again, you get that other guy that's going to lowball, and then once he gets his foot in the door, he's going to hit you with the change orders. So for us as a company, I don't like doing that because if I was a customer, I don't know what the budget for, right? So I always try to include that in my proposals, and I tell people that like my proposal includes everything.